Hey guys, welcome back to Story and Craft with Tom Team. This week we're going to be looking at the story of the fiery furnace, and then Sarah's going to do another really cool craft with us. So get excited.
This is a story found in Daniel chapter 3. It's about a king and 3 brave men. The king's name is Nebuchadnezzar, and the 3 men were known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They lived in a place called Babylon, and the 3 men had important jobs working for the king. One day, the king decided to build a huge gold statue. It was 90 feet high. That's the height of over 15 people, all standing one on top of another. The king then made an announcement. When you hear the music, you must bow down and worship the statue, because I have said so. Whoever does not obey and worship the statue will immediately be thrown in a fiery furnace. The problem with this is that God doesn't want us to worship anything or anyone other than Him. After all, He is God. He made us, and He loves us so much. He came to earth and died for us, and cares about every little thing in our lives. To worship a big pile of gold, like the one King Nebuchadnezzar set up, would just be silly. The gold can't hear, see, or care about anything or anyone. Back to the story. The next time the music played, everyone stopped what they were doing, and they bowed down to worship this idol. But not Shadrach, Meshach, or Abednego. Some of the king's workers who didn't like them saw that they wouldn't bow down, and so they quickly ran to tell the king. When Nebuchadnezzar heard the news, he was very angry. He immediately ordered that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought to him and explain their actions. The men were brought before the king, and he said to them, "Is it true that you won't bow down and worship the image of gold that I've made? I'll give you one more chance. When the music plays again, you'll be ready and bow down to the image. And if you don't, you'll be thrown in a fiery furnace. Then what God will be able to save you?" Meshach and Abednego looked at each other and replied to the king, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we did not make a mistake, and we won't apologize for not bowing down. If we are thrown into the furnace, then the God we worship will save us, and He will rescue us. But even if He doesn't, we want you to know that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold that you've set up." That made Nebuchadnezzar even more mad. Right away, he ordered for the furnace to be heated way hotter than it usually was, and commanded some of the strongest soldiers to take the 3 men and throw them in the fire. The soldiers took Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as they were, straight to the furnace. The men were still wearing all their clothes, which would easily catch fire in the furnace. The fire was so hot that it even killed the soldiers who were taking the men there. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the extra hot, fiery furnace. Then the king noticed something that shocked him. He jumped to his feet and asked, "Did we not only throw 3 men into the fire?" His advisors replied yes, and he said, "Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, untied and unhurt, and the 4th looks like some kind of angel." The king then came as close as he could to the furnace and shouted in the doorway, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, followers of God, come out." So the 3 men walked out of the furnace totally fine, and with no smell of smoke even on them at all. At that moment, Nebuchadnezzar knew that they worshipped a real God, not some fake statue. God had sent an angel to protect them from harm, and even more importantly, he realized that they truly believed and trusted in God. They were willing to die rather than serve or worship any god except their own. So from that day on, the king made an announcement that all people should respect the amazing God that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego followed.
This week we're making a fiery furnace to remind us of Daniel 3. Fold a page in half and use something circular to trace a circle. Cut out the circle. Be careful and ask an adult to help you if you need it. Make sure you keep the spare circle. Colour in or paint the page like this. Make sure to leave some white at the top. Grab that spare circle and use it to make some fire for the top. Cut it into spiky shapes to look like flames. Colour in or paint your flames red, orange and yellow and let them dry if you painted them. Also colour in the white bit you left on the folded page. Using another page, draw and colour in 4 little men. 3 of them will be Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, and the 4th will be the angel God sent. Once you draw one, you can use it as a stencil for the others. A little blue tack might help to hold it in place. Cut them all out and set them aside. Cut out 4 cardboard strips at least 15 centimeters long and glue them to the back of each figure. Open up the folded page and put glue on the top and side edges to seal the top and side. Create flames at the top by cutting some more spiky shapes. Line up the flames to stick them at the bottom like this. When you're happy, glue them in place. Place the figure through the hole at the bottom to complete the fiery furnace scene. And that's it! You have a craft to tell someone you know about the story of Daniel chapter 3 and to remember how God protected Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego.
So that's all we've got time for today. I hope you had fun and I hope you really enjoyed making the craft. Make sure you come back on Sunday morning for Children's Church, where we'll be looking more in depth at this story, doing a memory verse and even getting to do another action song. Bye!